Randy Mamola, Yamaha, in second place next to Gardner, and next to Mamola the World Championship leader Eddie Lawson with 5 victories out of 8 races already this season. Then Christian Saron fourth on the grid, Mike Baldwin fifth, Rob McElhenney sixth, Raymond Roche on the 4-cylinder works Honda, the Frenchman, in 7th position, and then on his camera shod 3-cylinder Honda, Roger Burnett, who made a scintillating start when the race began previously. The 1-minute board has been shown, and it's go. The British Grand Prix has started, and again it's the German Manfred Fischer who's rocketed through into the lead from the 3rd row of the grid. A sensational start as it was before, but it's Wayne Gardner in 2nd position as they go round the right-hander at Cox on towards Maggots, where the accident to Paul Lewis happened previously. But Fischer really is sensational.
Yeah, quite incredible. I suppose the good thing is if you're on the 3rd row of the grid, you can have a little bit of a sort of a walk before the flag drops and no one notices. But
Wayne Gardner leads at Beckett's. Coming through on the inside is Ron Haslam on the Honda-powered Elf machine, but it's Fischer in 2nd place. Haslam is 3rd. Wayne Gardner leads, and I see the red of the Yamaha, and in 5th position it's World Championship leader Eddie Lawson. Number 6 is Randy Mamola, already a double winner in the British Grand Prix. See the 2 red Yamahas coming through to take up station behind Wayne Gardner, and it's Eddie Lawson, number 2, in 2nd position. It is Didier de Radiguez, the Belgian, on the 3-cylinder Honda, in 3rd place as they go round the right-hander at Club, up towards Abbey. Lap 1, 28-lap race, number 4, Wayne Gardner leads, number 2, Eddie Lawson 2nd, number 8, Rodriguez 3rd, then 4th is Ron Haslam, 5th is Rob McElhenney. So there are 2 British riders in the first 5 on the first lap.
Yeah, I must admit, Haslam is going extremely well, because when you think that his little Honda that he's riding is not a factory engine or anything, and when it comes to the rain, if a guy's up the front, he's got to be a good rider.
Now up to Woodcote at the end of the first lap. The Honda is definitely more difficult to ride than the Yamahas because all the power is at the top, and Wayne Gardner has already got, and I've started my stopwatch, a lead over Eddie Lawson of 2 seconds in 1 lap, with Rodriguez 3rd, Haslam is 4th, McElhenney is in 5th position, and in 6th place is Raymond Roche. There is Lawson. You can see what the conditions are like, see the water underneath the tyres as they go round the right-hander at Cox, and Rodriguez, who demonstrated his class in the wet in the South African Grand Prix the year before last, his first 500cc Grand Prix ride, is right up with the World Championship leader, and there he is, Eddie Lawson, 2nd, Rodriguez, number 8, in 3rd place, Haslam is still 4th, there's the Belgian.
Didier is really outstanding in the wet. He's got a very smooth style. He doesn't leap all over the bike and sort of throw it into corners, and it pays dividends in the wet.
And Rob McElhenney is up to 4th position. Now this really is a challenging race for McElhenney. He's in the there's Mamola. McElhenney is in the Team Agostini outfit on the Works Yamaha, and the best he's been able to do so far in his season riding for a Works team is 3 fourth places, and he will be looking for an improvement here at Silverstone, his home track in Britain. There he is, there's Lawson, de Rodriguez still 3rd, McElhenney in 4th position. This is lap 2, and Gardner leads.
Mamola must have got a really bad start because he's struggling. He must be in 9th or 10th position. In conditions like this, it's a bad thing to do if you get a bad start because you just can't see. The spray is terrible at the beginning of the race until it clears a little.
Haslam dropping back a bit because now, as Randy Mamola, number 6, rounds the left-hander, Haslam is ahead of him, and so is Raymond Roche, and there is Mamola, and the order is Wayne Gardner streaking away, Lawson 2nd, de Rodriguez 3rd, 4th is McElhenney, and there is Roger Burnett with the camera on his Honda, and that's what he's seeing, well, almost what he's seeing. The camera is a bit lower than his head is, but he's going down into Copse.
Yeah, and you go into Copse, it's, what about, in this weather, about an 80 or 90 mile an hour right-hander. difficult corner to accelerate out of because you come very close to the curve. You can see it on your left there, and you must not touch it in conditions like this because it's like ice. You go up into a left-hand kink called, what is it now, Beckett's? No, not Beckett's, Maggots, which are very, very fast left-hand kink. And down into the right-hander, which is Beckett's. Sorry, I don't know the names of the corners. Beckett's, and then out of Beckett's into Chapel Curve, which is a very, very fast left-hand corner with a lot of water on the surface there, and then accelerating up into Hanger Straight.
And Burnett, that we're with now, is in 11th place, and ahead of him and ahead of us is Randy Mamola, double British Grand Prix winner, in 10th position. There's the leader, and it's Wayne Gardner. Number 2, Eddie Lawson, second, and Wayne Gardner seems to have the race by the throat at the moment on lap 3 out of 28. Look at him go. There he is, the winner in Spain, the winner in Holland, 2 second places in Germany and Austria, 3rd in the World Championship, and he's riding superbly. That's Radiguez, Didier de Radiguez, who's come up from the 250 class, the Belgian, and is riding the 3-cylinder Honda.
Yeah, I was talking to Didier yesterday, and he was praying for rain because he said his bike was handling so bad. The only time he stood a chance is if it poured with rain, so he's got his wish.
Wayne Gardner's leading by over 3 seconds now, and then there's quite a gap from de Radiguez to in 4th position now, Christian Saron. There is the Frenchman whose brother won the 250 race today. He's 4th. On the left is another Frenchman, and that is Raymond Roche, and sandwiched between them is Rob McElhenney on the big Yamaha, and he's starting to slip down the field a bit, I fear. Wayne Gardner leads.
Yeah, Christian Saron is an absolute star in the wet. He's very brave, to say the least, but he proved at Hockenheim last year. He beat Freddie Spencer, and it was the first time a European had won a Grand Prix, so got to watch out for Christian. It's, what, 25 laps to go, so it's a long way yet.
As the 3rd place man goes through, there is the 4th, and watch for Mamola, number 6. He's coming up through the field. There is Saron, who is 4th. Behind him, in a moment, you'll see the red machine of Rob McElhenney, who is in 5th position. Now, in 6th place is Raymond Roche, number 7, and then it's Randy Mamola, who is a bit of a rainmaster, but not as good as Wayne Gardner is today, and Mamola is in 8th place, and somebody nearly losing it there.
Oh, that was Raymond Roche. It looks as if he went into the stow at the end of the Hanger Straight, and just as he went in, he lost the front end a bit, and what that does, it unsettles you, and his foot slipped off the footrest, but as luck would have it, it all turned out okay.
And
we've got to keep our eyes open for Christian Saron, because, as I say, Christian, if he stays upright, he's definitely going to be in the hunt.
But look at this. There is the 6th place man, Roche, and crowding him is Ron Haslam on the 3-cylinder Honda-powered Elf. Look at the machine as it goes through. Look at the... Wait and see Haslam's machine, and you... Well, the angle is wrong. Look at the front wheel, you see. It looks as though it's got no visible support, and it hasn't on that side.
And it handles a little bit as if it doesn't have any visible.
I see. Well,
you know, in all honesty, if Ron Haslam had a decent bike now, he's really got his head sorted out, and he's riding outstandingly well. Because, quite frankly, you stick anybody else on that bike, they wouldn't get to within 3 seconds a lap of what he's doing.
9th in the World Championship, Ron Haslam, and a 6th place in Holland. There's Rodriguez going through third, I'm sorry. There is Rob McElhenney in 5th position. 4th ahead of him is Christian Saron. And there they go. And on lap 5, out of 28, in the lead, it's still Wayne Gardner on the Honda. 2nd, still Eddie Lawson. In 3rd position, it's still de Radiguez. In 4th position, it is Saron. You saw him, and here is the leader. And you see now the gap between Wayne Gardner and Eddie Lawson, and the gap in terms of time is 5.8 seconds. Rodriguez.
I think you have to watch out for Eddie, because he's known as Steady Eddie. He really does think about his race, and he sort of plans a race, if you like. He uses his head a lot, and I think all he's doing now is just sort of settling down. It's terrible conditions, and he thinks, well, I've got a long race to go. I've got sort of 24 laps to go, so I don't think you'll see Eddie shine until there's about 10 laps left.
Yes, and also, of course, not to make too fine a point of it, he wants to win, obviously, but at this juncture of the season, because we're in round 9 of the World Championship, he's vitally concerned with World Championship points. There he is. He's 13 points ahead of Mamola, who is behind him in the race, and he's a lot more than that ahead of Wayne Gardner, who is leading. So Lawson can afford to ride a very steady race.
Yeah, and he will do, because as I say, I think brain-wise, he's definitely got it as far as that is concerned. He'll work it out and just do what he has to do.
Here he comes, Wayne Gardner ahead, and Eddie Lawson, Upland, California he lives, and he's a protege of Kenny Roberts, the great 3-times world champion. And although number 2 there, Eddie Lawson, is only 27 years, believe it or not, he has been racing for 20 years. He started, as they can in America, at 7 years of age, and he's in his 4th international year now. 4th in the World Championship in 1983. And there is Wayne Gardner. Look back, the distinctive style of Eddie Lawson, the distinctive red-painted Yamaha. In the background, De Rodriguez. Behind him, Christian Saron, and Saron is gaining. Number 3, Christian Saron, is catching number 8, Didier De Rodriguez, and Saron there is in 4th position, Yamaha. So it's a Honda leading and Yamaha's 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
I think you'll find if Christian Saron catches Didier, which it looks like he's going to, then he'll really get the bit between his teeth and set out after Eddie. I don't know whether there's any team orders, after all they're both Yamahas, but knowing Christian, he'll have a good go.
And there is De Rodriguez into the left.
You can see with De Rodriguez's bike the way the thing wriggles and jumps around. It's a tricky French frame that doesn't seem to work too good. And as I say, Didier was praying for rain, and he's got his wish.
The positions are static at the moment on lap 6 out of 28. With Wayne Gardner, who had such a scintillating first lap, leading. Eddie Lawson is still 2nd. There is the leader, little Wayne Gardner, the hero of Japan, and he is a super mega star out there on account of his never-ending succession of victories in the big races at Suzuka in Japan, leading from Eddie Lawson with Didier De Rodriguez 3rd, so it's the Works 4-cylinder Honda in the front. The Works 4-cylinder Yamaha 2nd. The non-Works 3-cylinder Honda of Rodriguez in 3rd position. In 4th place, it's still Christian Saron. In 5th position, it is still Rob McElhenney. And in 6th place, it's Raymond Roche, ahead of Ron Haslam, who's going extremely well and is still ahead of Randy Mamola. And I expected him to be going a lot better. And you saw there that Saron has caught right up to De Rodriguez. There's McElhenney. There is Raymond Roche on the 4-cylinder Honda. Number 5 is Ron Haslam. Number 6 is Randy Mamola. And number 56 there, Helmut Schutz. The West German on the Honda has already been lapped.
Yeah, it looks as if Eddie's easing back a little bit, because Wayne's pulling out a better lead, and the other two behind Eddie are pulling him in a little bit now. Didier's probably knocked, say, half a second off in that lap, so I think you'll find that if Didier catches Eddie Lawson up, then he'll really have to start putting the pressure on, because after all said and done, Mamela's only 3 places behind them.
Yes, and I think there's going to be a change for 3rd position soon. Wayne Gardner, number 4, lap 8, with the hopes of Honda resting on his shoulders. Honda have not had a good season. Freddie Spencer, the double world champion, has only ridden twice this year and has had to ride out of both races with his tendinitis complaint. And Wayne Gardner has brilliantly taken over the mantle of Freddie Spencer, but he just plain hasn't got the Americans' experience. And the result is that Honda have only won at Spain in the hands of Gardner and Holland, and Yamaha have won every other race. Lawson has won 5 of them, and Mamola has won 1. So Honda are really looking for victory here. And there's the camera bike of Christian Lelea. That's the 2nd camera bike we've got. Here he is, and that's what he's seeing. And he's doing about 140 miles an hour.
This is the same kind of bike as Ron Haslam's riding, and as I say, it's a revolutionary bike. It's got so many new ideas on it, and to be quite honest, I don't think any of them work.
And British enthusiasts can stand and cheer because the top privateer is Gary Lingham, the British rider, and he's riding this brand new carbon fibre Suzuki powered machine of his, which he's been responsible for the finance of the frame. There goes Wayne Gardner through to complete his 8th lap, 20 laps to go, and Saron loses it very badly. There's Saron, he's left. Christian Saron has lost control of his bike. You can see, he looks to be, I hope, okay. I think he's just recovering from the shock. And that happened right in front of me. The Frenchman just lost it coming out of Woodcote. And he's shocked, but I trust non-injured. These days, all the riders wear back protectors.
Yeah, they do, and it's a good thing because Christian took a nasty tumble in. I didn't actually see the beginning of it, but it went sideways one way and then back the other, and there was no chance of hanging on to it. It's a sad thing with Christian. He almost does it to a script, you know. You should just take it a little bit easier.
Well, thank heavens he's all right. That's the second nasty-looking fall. First of all, Paul Lewis in the first lap of the race, which was discontinued. And now Christian Saron out. And that means to say, of course, that up into 3rd place has gone Didier de Rodriguez. Well, Rodriguez was 3rd, so up into 4th place, I'm sorry, I'll get it right in a minute, has gone Rob McElhenney. So an improvement for the Englishman there by default. The rain bucketing down. There is the 2nd place man, and look at the way Rodriguez is now with Eddie Lawson.
It looks, by the way Eddie's riding, that he's just going to play it very, very safely. I was talking to Eddie yesterday or this morning, and he said that, look, I've got everything to lose and nothing to gain, so I'm just, whatever happens, I'm going to finish the race. And as you can see, Didier's taking full advantage of it.
And he's taking full advantage of it by almost taking 2nd place, and I think he may well be there at Copse. No, he's not. The superior acceleration of the Yamaha blasts an extra machine's length away, but Rodriguez fights back. He's going through on the inside.
Well, the difficult thing with Didier is, you see, that Eddie Lawson's a really good rider. He takes the absolute perfect spot on line, so the only way Didier can get past, he can't get past down the straight because the Honda's not as quick as Eddie's bike. So the only way he can get past is dive up the inside. And the problem with doing that is you're going to run into a lot of puddles that people haven't been through. So, tricky old situation.
Battle for 2nd place with Lawson there holding it from De Rodriguez. But now Randy Mamola has caught Ron Haslam, who is in 6th place, so there's a battle further down the field as well. And on lap 10, with Wayne Gardner leading, these two, Eddie Lawson on the red Yamaha and Didier de Rodriguez on the Honda, in 2nd and 3rd place. In 4th place now, it's McElhenney. Then in 5th position, it's Raymond Roche. In 6th place, it is Ron Haslam. And behind Ron Haslam is Randy Mamola. And here comes Lawson. Here comes Rob McElhenney. The Englishman, 4th position. Right. Rob will ride a steady race. We're coming to contract time pretty shortly because the season has only got 2 races to go, in Sweden on August the 10th and San Marino on August the 24th. And Wayne Gardner has only signed a year's contract with Honda, and with Freddie Spencer out of action and unpredictable for next year at the present moment, Honda will want to keep Gardner, and probably Yamaha will want him, and he's a very much sought-after young man at the present moment. He's leading on lap 11. Now look for Lawson and look for De Rodriguez, who should be with him.
So this is always the battle when you're trying to catch somebody. You get stuck behind a back marker, and everything you fought for over the past 2 laps can be lost to you in one foul swoop.
Dennis Ireland, the New Zealander, number 40 on his Suzuki, and De Rodriguez, who had scratched his way up to Eddie Lawson, has got to do it all again. I think the conditions this year are just as bad as they were in 1985. I didn't think in 1985, when I was standing here at Silverstone, I would be witnessing the same sort of race next year, but that is what unfortunately it's turned out to be. The heavy rain belt that's been slowly travelling across the countryside before our horrified eyes, because we knew it had to arrive here, has again arrived. We've had fluctuations in the rain during the afternoon from bad to terrible, and it's terrible now. And Rodriguez is still third. Fourth is still McKelney. Fifth is still Raymond Roche. Sixth is still Randy Mamola, sixth is Randy Mamola, and down to seventh has gone Ron Haslam.
I think the thing is with the conditions this year, the only improvement on last year is the fact that last year there was about a 50-mile-an-hour wind blowing, and now it's only about a 10-mile-an-hour, but it's still pretty nasty conditions, to say the least.
What goes through your mind, Barry, in conditions like this? Are you just grimly, desperately trying to stay aboard, or can you make an effort?
No, I suppose you can only liken it sort of walking on ice. You know, every step you take, you do it so carefully, and the main thing in the rain is to be smooth, you know, not to throw the bike into a corner, and to be precise. You know, if you're going to lay the bike into a corner, make sure you lay it in at the right time, because if you lay it in too early, you have to pick it up and lay it down again, and it just upsets the balance of it. Smoothness is the thing.
And Wayne Gardner has just passed the Spanish rider Juan Garriga on the four-cylinder Cachiva, and there's our camera bike with Wayne Gardner in front of it, and Lilliard nearly losing it as he came out of the right-hander at Club. Well, it's getting pretty spread out now. Lawson in second place there, with Rodriguez still behind him, and Rob McElhenney, if anything, is catching the battle between Lawson, number 2 on the red Yamaha, in second place, and De Rodriguez, the Belgian, number 8 in third, as Lawson and De Rodriguez, there he is, make their way up through the midfield men. Rob McElhenney's coping well with it, and I think he's gaining. I'll put a stopwatch on them as they go past, and then we'll be able to check. They're coming through to complete their 12th lap, and Wayne Gardner has already done so.
Yeah, it looks definitely as if Rob McElhenney's wheeling in Lawson and De Rodriguez.
There they go. There's Lawson away, De Rodriguez away, and as McElhenney comes out of Woodcote, the gap is 7.8 seconds. Here he is. Here's beat Rob McElhenney, the man from Brigg, the winner of the 1984 Classic and Senior TTs, and a lot of other successes as well. Suzuki gave him his chance, bit of a wiggle on there, last year in the Heron Suzuki team. And number 39, who's been lapped by Lawson and is being caught by De Rodriguez, was Henk van der Mark, one of the several Dutch riders in the race, and that is McElhenney. You see the black pads on the outside of his knees.
You won't be dragging your knees on the floor today. If you are, it's too late.
Water wings, I should think, is the wear rather than knee pads. And Rob McElhenney, 26 years old, he's a big chap, 5'11" is Rob McElhenney, and he weighs some 13 stone, so there's a lot of him to keep that Yamaha on the ground. And he, like the others, is on lap 13, and we haven't said much about Wayne Gardner, and now is the time to say it. This young man, 26 years old, from Wollongong, and there really is a place called Wollongong, and Wayne lives there, is riding magnificently. He came over here. Oh! Whoa!
Sorry about that, Myron. So I was just looking out the window, and as you said it, he's riding magnificently. He went across the white line, start line, and the bike went sideways, so...
Just shows you what their reflexes are like. But he came over here riding the Formula One Moriwaki some years ago, sit up and big handlebars, with a sensational style and a lot of success. And then as a result of that, he joined the Honda team in 1984, the Honda Britain team, with the machines not as good as Freddie Spencer was riding. And from then on, he has not looked back. But meantime, with Wayne Gardner leading, with Eddie Lawson second, with Rodriguez in third position, with Rob McElhenney in fourth place, with Raymond Roche in fifth place. Randy Mamola is right up with Raymond Roche, the Frenchman. So look for number 7, Raymond Roche, and number 6, Randy Mamola. You'll see them in a moment. And Raymond Roche is in 5th position, and there's Mamola challenging him. Number 6, Randy Mamola, in 6th place on the Team Roberts 4-cylinder Yamaha. The only man other than Wayne Gardner and Eddie Lawson to have won a Grand Prix in the 500 class this year. And I don't think Raymond Roche is at all happy, Barry. He's yet to finish higher than 5th this year, and it doesn't look as though he's going to do it here.
He certainly doesn't seem to get on too well with the 4-cylinder Honda. I mean, he used to absolutely fly on the 3-cylinder bike, but I was talking to Wayne yesterday, and he was saying the bike was made so much for Freddie that it's very difficult for other people to ride.
Yes, not many people realise that Honda made a maximum effort to support, and rightly so, Freddie Spencer. And the bike has been built to satisfy his riding style, and that certainly isn't Wayne Gardner's riding style or Raymond Roche's. And the result is that Mamola is about to take Roche and has done so.
I think by the looks of it, Eddie Lawson might have some kind of problem, because he went past the pits and he was gesticulating to his pit crew, and as he did, Didier de Radiguez went past, so we should have Didier in 2nd place now.
Lap 15, this is the crucial race for Eddie Lawson, because this race will decide how he runs his strategy, and he's lost the 2nd place. You're right, Barry. Up into 2nd place to Rodriguez. Now, we'll keep a weather eye, and that's the right word to use here at Silverstone today, on Eddie Lawson, because he's definitely, almost visibly dropping back. Surely it isn't, Barry, that he's giving the weather conditions best, because I remember how well he rode in South Africa to win a couple of years ago.
Certainly not. I would say that, well, it can be any kind of mechanical thing, but in these conditions you can get a lot of water and stuff in, and maybe he's got some water in the engine or whatever, but he's definitely slowing down.
And watch for McElhenney then. Watch for the 2nd red machine coming round the right-hander at Club. There he is. There's McElhenney, who is in 4th position now to number 2, Eddie Lawson, 3rd place. On this, the 15th lap out of 28. And not so very far behind McElhenney is Randy Mamola. All of a sudden, the British Grand Prix is coming to life in these appalling conditions due to whatever problem Eddie Lawson has. There's McElhenney going obviously faster. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Eddie come into the pits. I don't know. He's obviously got some kind of problem there. We don't know what, but he slowed down so much, probably 2.5 seconds that lap. So the next lap round, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see him come in. Rodriguez, well, they've gone through now. They've gone past our commentary position, which is almost opposite the start and finish line. Now there's de Rodriguez 2nd, there is Lawson 3rd, and looming larger all the time behind him in 4th position, number 9, the red Yamaha of Rob McElhenney from Brig. There he goes. You could see the way that Lawson accelerated out of that corner. He's not down behind the screen or anything, so he's got something wrong, because he's not the kind of guy to give up for no reason. Yeah, you can see that he's not trying. Well, if he has got machine trouble, it's the first time this year that he's had a problem with the bike, because although he failed to win in Spain, he finished in 2nd place. And down, that's Leliard, I think. It looks like Christian Leliard's bike. But anyway, now McElhenney is getting closer all the time to this man in 3rd place. Eddie Lawson with Wayne Gardner leading on lap 16 with Didier de Rodriguez, and it was Christian Leliard who fell off. And look, there it is. There's the battle now for 3rd. And soon Rob McElhenney is going to be higher in a Grand Prix than I can remember him being this year. The highest that McKelney has finished in a Grand Prix this year has been 4th. He's had two fourth places in Germany and Yugoslavia. He's challenging his team leader now, Eddie Lawson, for 3rd place. He's going to take it soon. There's Lawson.
See, it's quite funny. I don't know whether it's a mark on the edge of the tyre, but it looks as if there's something out of balance on the back end of the bike. Oh, there he was gone.
Some sort of eccentricity. You can see a wobbling effect on the rear wheel of Lawson's bike.
Let's see if we can get a close look here. It does look as if the thing's bouncing. I don't know. You know, it's hard to say.
If it wasn't motorcycles, Barry, I'd say it clipped a curb and damaged the rim. But
you see, what might have happened if the tyres shifted on the rim, it goes out of centre then, and it can give you terrible sort of vibration on the back end. It might just be the chalking on the rear wheel, but
for whatever reason, by his standards, Eddie Lawson is cruising. And Rob McKelney is about to take that 4th position, and that'll be on lap 17, and then Lawson will be hanging on for World Championship points.
What I would imagine would happen, Rob would pass Eddie and then just stay there and then drop back at the end of the race and let him past again because of the World Championship points situation.
And Gary Lingham is doing well in the background. He's moved up into 7th place, leading Privateer on his carbon fibre frame Suzuki. And there is the seemingly invincible at the moment, Wayne Gardner, leading on lap 17 as he has led from virtually the first corner, coming up to lap Ray Swan. And Ray Swan doesn't hang about, so you can tell how fast Gardner's going. The skies are clearing, but the rain is still bucketing down, and Gardner is riding beautifully smoothly, and that's exactly what you've got to do in these conditions.
It's funny because I was talking to Wayne, and he says, "Oh, I hate the rain. Everybody hates the rain," but he's never shone in the rain, and today he's really shining. You know, he's riding very smoothly and not sort of picking it up. Oh. Now, just as I say that, by the look of, you see what can happen there, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he went in, just hit a puddle, the front end aquaplaned, and it just shakes your foot off the footrest, the same as happened to Raymond Roche earlier on.
And I'm interested to notice that although McKelney is going very hard, he's still, when they went past us, in 3rd position and not seeming to have made up any ground on, in 3rd position, Eddie Lawson. So there's the leader, lap 18, 28 lap race. There's Lawson, there is McKelney behind him. Well, I'm totally mystified about whatever Lawson's problem is.
I would say that we'll wait and see if Baldwin passes Rob McKelney, then you might see Rob go on and pass Eddie Lawson, because obviously all that Rob's doing is just sitting behind Eddie, you know, which is the sensible thing to do so as not to take points away from him.
Well, there's Rodriguez, just gone through in 2nd position. Coming towards us now, number 44, Juan Garriga, who's being lapped by all the lead men. And now, as I said that, McKelney has visibly closed on and has to make the decision about whether he's going to pass his team leader and rob him of World Championship points. I don't know if there are team orders. I would suspect there might well be in the Agostini team, because the World Championship is of vital importance to them and to Yamaha, and Lawson is the man who's leading it. And
I think we should keep our eye on Didier de Radiguez, because he's pulling in Wayne Gardner, so we should get a time, you know, a split time, and see what the difference is.
At 19, there is de Radiguez in 2nd position on the 3-cylinder Honda, and although the maximum speed differential between the Honda 4 of Wayne Gardner and the Honda 3 of de Radiguez is not as great as it is in dry conditions, de Radiguez is taking full advantage of that, because it evens out the gap between them. The Honda 3 handles better than the Honda 4. And there's the leader. Look at the bow wave. Look at the bow wave, and we'll get some comparative times as they go through. think the conditions are getting worse again. I think, yes, the rain, I look at a big puddle in front of me and the rain is, oh, you can, look at that. Now, look for de Rodriguez.
I don't think you see him come in at the back yet, but he's definitely pulled some back.
There he is. There's a long, long gap.
But there's still 10 laps to go.
Correct.
And don't forget, Didier is in the same position as the guys in the 250 race. He's got everything to gain and nothing to lose.
And still, Rob McElhenney is either holding station or can't get by Eddie Lawson. And I'm beginning to think that it's the latter and not the former. There they go, third and fourth. Lawson, number 2, Yamaha, and McElhenney, number 9. Big burly Rob, and the time gap between the two of them is 2 seconds, 2.06 seconds. But it's what's happening up front that's getting critical now. We're on lap 20. Here is the race leader, Wayne Gardner, seemingly not having visor problems. I could see his eyes quite clearly there. He's round the right-hander at Beckett's, into the left-hander at Chapel, down the hanger straight for the 20th time in this 28-lap race, and watch. And there's Rodriguez coming out of Beckett's into Chapel. So there's virtually the whole length of the hanger straight between Wayne Gardner and de Rodriguez here. The highest he's finished in a Grand Prix this year is 5th position, and he's in 7th place in the World Championship. Number 8, de Rodriguez, who comes from Brussels. But I can't see, unless Wayne Gardner has some sort of machine problem, de Rodriguez making up the gap between them at the present moment.
Be interesting if we get a time, get a distance this lap. He pulled in about half a second the lap before, but it's an uphill task. You never know.
Round Abbey Curve, over the crest, under the bridge, into Woodcote. The sky visibly brightening, but I think it's only fooling us because it's done that before this afternoon. Over the line goes Wayne Gardner, as into Woodcote comes de Rodriguez. Down to Copse goes Gardner, here he is. And the gap between number 4, race leader Wayne Gardner, number 8, Didier de Rodriguez, is 10.6 seconds. Lawson is coming through, you'll just see him in the background, and the gap between de Rodriguez second and Lawson third is 8.53 seconds, and Lawson has increased his lead over the 4th place man, his teammate Rob McElhenney. In 5th position behind McElhenney, and some way back at the moment, is Randy Mamola, and in 6th position behind Randy Mamola it's Raymond Roche. So it's very much the 4-cylinder works machines up front.
I think Eddie may have had some problem that could have cleared by now, because he's definitely speeded up, and looks as if he's riding again. You know, if the thing was misfiring and suddenly cleared, that would explain it, but he's definitely going quicker now than he was.
You get that peculiar eccentricity effect on the rear wheel, irrespective of which side you're looking. And look at it, the front wheel almost aquaplane. There's Randy Mamola, number 6 there in 5th position. A double British Grand Prix winner, riding for his 3rd works team, 3rd make-up works machine, because he started his works career with Suzuki, went on to Yamaha, on to Honda, and this is his 8th Grand Prix year, so Mamola's got an enormous amount of experience. Won in Belgium this year. Now let's get the gap between Gardner, as he has gone through, and Didier de Rodriguez as he crosses the line, and it is 8.4 seconds. 8.4 seconds.
That's 2 seconds in one lap, and he's got 7 laps to go.
He's reeling him in, and the gap between De Rodriguez and Lawson is 9.9 seconds. The gap between Lawson and McKelney is 3.74 seconds. And now, here, watch this. Here's Lawson. Here's Wayne Gardner. 8 seconds lead. Lap 22, 28 lap race. What about signals? No chatting up between the pits and the rider in Grand Prix motorcycle racing. Now there's the gap down Hanger Straight between Wayne Gardner and Didier de Rodriguez there in the background, and it is visibly less than it was on lap 20.
Trouble is, Didier's just stuck behind a back marker now, and it can lose you 1.5 seconds in one foul swoop.
Gardner. Now here comes the tail ender, and this is a good opportunity for de Rodriguez to get past him. And the man he's just passed is Alan Jeffrey on the Suzuki. On his way, de Rodriguez, second place, lap 22. 6 laps to go at the end of this one. Wayne Gardner leads. Here he is, the winner in Holland, the winner in Spain, second places in Germany, in Austria, third in the championship. 15 points is he going to get? Now, I said the gap last time was 8 seconds. Gardner comes down to Copse, watch in the background, and you'll see de Rodriguez come out of Woodcote. He has done so, he crosses the line, and it's now 12 seconds.
Oh dear.
So Gardner has pulled away by 4 seconds in that one lap, and the positions for third and fourth are absolutely static. Indeed, whatever Lawson's problem was seems to be disappearing, because there in fourth place is McKelney, and Lawson is increasing the gap.
And Lawson is pulling back a little bit on Didier by the look of it, so whatever it was, it's disappeared.
Fifth position, Randy Mamola. Sixth position is Raymond Roche, and in seventh position is Gary Lingham. That's a terrific achievement. 26-year-old Gary Lingham from Eltham.
That is an outstanding. When you think the guy's on a standard bike that anybody could, or a standard engine that anybody could buy, it's I know he puts every ounce of money that he earns and more besides into his racing. It's a good try, Gary Lingham.
Yes, Gary Lingham, as we watch Didier de Rodriguez in second position, like everybody who is not a works rider, is desperately looking for sponsorship, and my goodness, he needs it. He's sunk every penny that he's got into this new carbon fibre framed bike. Rodriguez goes away there. He's slipping back from Wayne Gardner, who is now on his 23rd lap, on his winning way. Past the gigantic hangar-like building goes de Rodriguez. Over the line to complete his 23rd lap goes Gardner. Gary Lingham is coming into the pits. There he is. There's the carbon fibre frame bike I was telling you about. And the unfortunate Englishman who'd ridden up to 7th place, an absolutely terrific achievement, looks as though he's out of the race. And the gap now between Wayne Gardner and Didier de Rodriguez is 14 seconds.
What a shame for Lingham.
Just for the interest of those of you who follow the fortunes of Neil Mackenzie, the 250 and 350cc Armstrong works rider, he's up into 9th position on his first ride in a 500 in a Grand Prix. As we look at Wayne Gardner, lap 24, he's led from the first corner to this one, and there is Neil Mackenzie, the Silverstone Armstrong team rider, Charles Mortimer's team, and Neil Mackenzie, number 47. He's the British 250 and 350cc champion. He comes from Stirling. He broke a leg at Cadwell earlier on this season, so he's really making a terrific return to Grand Prix racing, particularly, as I say, as this is his first 500 ride in a race of this importance. Ron Haslam, number 5 there, riding through the picture, and Ron is in 8th position. Now, here are the positions as you look at Roger Burnett on lap 24. In the lead, Wayne Gardner. In 2nd place, Didier de Rodriguez. In 3rd position is Eddie Lawson. In 4th place is Rob McElhenney. In 5th position is Randy Mamola. In 6th position is Raymond Roche. In 7th place is Ron Haslam. In 8th place is Kenny Irons, and that's a good performance. And in 9th position, as you heard, is Neil Mackenzie.
Kenny Irons, that's an outstanding achievement, because Kenny only did, the first time he rode a 500 was this year, and it's not a factory bike or a factory engine or anything, so you've got to hand it to the guy.
There's the elf I was telling you about, Ron Haslam. See, it's only got a swinging arm on one side of the front wheel. There's Mike Baldwin, who's number 11, surprisingly down the field, because he is in 4th place in the World Championship and nowhere in the British Grand Prix. Ron Haslam. What a pity Ron can't get a better ride. He was dropped by the Honda Works team at the end of 1985, in spite of some sterling rides. And although the little elf team tries very hard indeed, they haven't got the budget that they need to match the work the big Japanese. There's Ron Haslam, number 5. And we're now on lap 25 with 3 laps to go at the end of this one.
Yeah, there's Kenny Irons, and boy, he's riding exceptionally well. When you think, Murray, that he'd never ridden a 500 before the beginning of this year. And I was at the race where he first rode it, which was Mallory Park, and he said, oh, I really don't like this thing, but I hope I'll get used to it. And he certainly has done.
KI on his back, and he's chasing Ron Haslam jolly hard, because on the black machine in front of him, just going round the left-hander, number 5, there is Ron Haslam. Ron, number 5, is in 7th position. Kenny Irons is 8th. There's Ron.
I don't know what happened to Roger Burnett. He must have had some kind of problem, because he was going at the beginning of the race and then just disappeared off the scene.
Down in about 12th position. Roger Burnett is still going well down the field in about 12th position. And now, for the first time today, we look up into the sky and see blue sky. This would happen, of course, just as the race is in its closing stages. The weather forecast is proving to be absolutely spot on. The better weather that was forecast for late afternoon is developing, and Kenny Irons is up with...
Right up with Haslam. This is Kenny Irons' first GP, and to get a result like this is quite incredible.
He's ahead of Ron Haslam. Kenny Irons has moved up into 7th position. He's well up in the World Championship points, because you get points down to 10th position in Motorcycle Grand Prix racing, and there he is, an absolutely superb performance.
He's just in front of Neil Mackenzie, and Neil Mackenzie's on one of the sort of semi-factory Suzukis, the Skull Bandit Suzukis. So I think Kenny Irons is putting up an extremely good show.
And he's not far off being lapped by Wayne Gardner, who's just completed his 26th lap. You'll see number 4. There he is. There is the leader, lapping number 10, Bert van Dulmen. And his lead over Didier de Rodriguez is 12 seconds now. But Lawson is starting to catch de Rodriguez. In the closing stages of the British Grand Prix, number 8, Didier de Rodriguez, in 2nd position, is being caught slowly, maybe not quickly enough, but being caught nevertheless by number 2, Eddie Lawson, on the red Yamaha. There's Wayne Gardner, number 4, carving through the midfield men as he laps them again. There is Lawson. And ahead of Lawson, de Rodriguez. This is lap 27. This is the last lap but one. I don't think Lawson can possibly catch de Rodriguez. There is the Belgian. And is that Lawson in the background?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It is. Eddie Lawson can catch De Rodriguez. Steady Eddie has decided that now is the time to charge.
Well, yeah, I think so. I'm sure that Eddie must have had some kind of problem, because he slowed down for 6 or 7 laps, then all of a sudden lit the thing up again. So whatever it was has obviously cleared. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Eddie catch Didier, because the Yamaha's quite a lot quicker and handles a lot better.
Well,
and obviously Eddie's going to be trying all he can, because he knows Randy Mamola, who's second in the World Championship, is in the race and very much in the points, so he'll be doing all he can.
But here is Wayne Gardner completing his 27th lap into his 28th and last lap. He moves his head and looks at the board, which says 1 lap to go. There is Lawson in 3rd position, and the gap between De Rodriguez and Lawson as they enter the last lap is 2.4 seconds. But Wayne Gardner is now on his way round to Maggots, on to Beckett's, round Chapel for the last time. He's at Beckett's now, and there's only about 1.5 miles between Wayne Gardner and the checkered flag at the end of the 500cc British Grand Prix. And if he takes it first, and I'm sure he will, it's going to be his 3rd World Championship Grand Prix win this year. Hello, looking back. Hope that's not trouble. I haven't seen him look back at all this race. Now, but what about the battle for 2nd position? Look for number 8, look for number 2, and there they are.
I think Lawson can do it. I really do think Lawson can do it, because he's definitely on the quicker bike without any shadow of a doubt. It steers better, and if Didier's going to be stuck behind some back markers here, which will give Eddie the run which he needs. On the final run up the hill, horsepower is where it counts, and it's in the lap of the gods and the back markers. But I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Eddie do it.
And with Wayne Gardner bursting out of Abbey Curve, approaching the Woodcote corner for the last time, here he is over the crest. He's within sight of Woodcote corner. He's going to see the checkered flag in a moment. He is going to win the British Grand Prix, and the crowd rises. And he gets a terrific reception, but who is going to be second?
Mike Baldwin, I think, got in Eddie's way a little bit, so I think well, Didier will just do it.
It's De Rodriguez crossing the line in 2nd place. Eddie Lawson is 3rd. Rob McElhenney, a long way back now, is going to come through in 4th position on the 2nd Team Agostini Yamaha. 5th should be in a moment Randy Mamola, and in 6th position Raymond Roche. But a truly famous victory for that man, Wayne Gardner.
He did ride very, very well. There's no two ways about that. He was extremely smooth, and he used his head throughout. Very impressive.
So Wayne Gardner, who has more than served his racing apprenticeship, first of all in Australia and then in Formula One racing here in Britain, before he got his Honda Britain ride, where he showed his class, so much so that he displaced Ron Haslam in the team, went on to become one of the top 2 Honda Japan supported riders with Freddie Spencer, and there is Randy Mamola. But Wayne Gardner now has taken over where Freddie Spencer left off, because last year the brilliant American Freddie Spencer won both the 250 and the 500 British Grand Prix. I think
I saw Eddie Lawson pointed to his visor there. If you remember at the beginning of the race, he said he didn't put any tape over it. It does look a bit strange that that if you can get a close-up of Eddie's visor, it looks as if it's really misted up a lot, and that would have explained why he had to slow down.
What would have happened, though, Barry, to clear it? Because he was definitely going quicker in the closing stages.
Well, maybe he could have opened the bottom of the visor, just pushed it up where the tape is, and got some fresh air in there. And just all you need is a little an inch space to see through, and maybe he got it.
Well, Lawson, by taking 2nd place ahead of Mamola, and Randy Mamola finished in 5th position, has increased his World Championship lead to 16 points and Wayne Gardner has now moved into second place in the championship by displacing Mamela, with Baldwin fourth in the championship, Saron fifth and McKelney sixth. But I say again, victory in the British Grand Prix for Wayne Gardner.